Boom. I'm live. Should be working. Okay. Go away, paper. I've got my Mickey Mouse cup. I'm not sponsored by Disney. I wish I was, but I'm not. Hi, whoever's watching. There are two people watching. This is a completely just unplanned, impromptu live event. I've decided to watch Star Trek Nemesis. So if you want to watch it too, go ahead. I just thought, I've not decided. I'm watching Star Trek Nemesis because I have something I need to watch it for. And I can't help but think of the opening music and how cool that is. So I kind of just wanted to film, I guess, my reaction to that. I'm not talking to anyone currently because there's no one watching. But for anyone that's going to watch this later, there you go. This is for you. So don't forget to like, subscribe, do all of those good things. Let's hit it. Let's start watching Star Trek Nemesis live. If anyone pops in on the stream, then I'll chat with them. I'll chat. I gotta tweet this out. That's what I gotta do. I gotta tweet it that I'm actually watching Star Trek Nemesis live. Nemesis 2, no one cares about it. 90th anniversary. Paramount Pictures presents. Alright. Gotta send out the goddamn tweet. I love this font. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the R that they mirrored, but thematically, I think it fits very well with the film, with the Romulus and Remus. I never thought of that. Thematically, it fits because it's like the Nemesis, the enemy with the R's, but I never thought that it's the two R's like Romulus and Remus. Anyway, I like the font too. That's the thing. I don't understand why they didn't use that. Ding, 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 dun, God, this music is so good. Oh my God, the intro is so good. I will admit that there's a big problem with the sun. If you look at like this, it's a small little ball just sitting next to the fucking planet for no reason. Like it's a little ball of, anyway, it's not an actual sun, whatever. Senators, consider the opportunities for the Empire. This is so good. All of it is so good. I love it so much. All right, while the Senate debates, I'll tweet out the link. Hi, everyone. Hey, Robbie, how you doing? I've got the camera here, but the movie is here, and then I've got me here, and the comments. Anyway, whatever. The military does not dictate policy on Romulus. I'm a huge fan of the Romulans. Hey, Yosef, how you doing? This wasn't planned, by the way. I haven't even tweeted the link out. I need to tweet this out. I'm concentrating on the friggin' Romulan Senate here. Okay, let's go to the channel and start tweeting things so that people know that we're here. How's everybody doing? Oh, she has an appointment with the Tholian ambassador. Like the Tholians have an ambassador. Like that was a lie. Come on, you know that that's a lie. You know that it's not true. I'm doing a Trek chat on Nemesis specifically, Robbie, soon with two very special guests. I'm very happy to have them on. First time guests too, but they're great. I love them. I won't spoil who they are. But yeah, we're gonna do like a basically a positive vibe thing about Nemesis. I think criticism's welcome too, I suppose. So I just wanted to do a rewatch. There it is, the green dust of death. It falleth to the ground. Would someone alert security? No one pulls out a tricorder to start like scanning or anything. Like, they're all fine. The music is so goddamn good. This whole thing, because it's Romulus and Remus, and that's all very Roman, and all of that happens. It reminds me so much of Pompeii. Oh, cut to Picard. Yes, it's the wedding. Oh, God, I still need to tweet this out, don't I? I still haven't tweeted it. I'm so bad with this. Like everyone, the video, subscribe, do all of the fantastic things. You're the best. Wait a minute. As the best man. All right. I'm watching NEMESIS live. Come chat. There you go. Boom. Random Will Wheaton. I agree, Joseph. Nemesis got way more hate than it deserves. I actually think it's a fun movie. I actually think it's a... Oh, shut up, Data. It's a fun movie. It's lacking in, but I mean, most Star Trek movies are lacking here and there. I have seen Babylon 5, by the way, Captain RGD. I found the 5th season to be a bit disappointing, but it's a very good show. It's a show that has an episode that makes me cry, which means it's a pretty good episode and like a pretty good show in my opinion. Like not too many shows can actually make me cry, and Babylon 5 did. Babylon 5 did. Deep Space Nine does, and Voyager does. I like that we now have like payoff, or it's not so much payoff, but we have lived with the fact that Deanna and Will are married now, and I enjoy that. In Picard and in Lower Decks and all of that. Who are these people? That didn't look like a Vulcan. That looked like a Romulan. Who are they inviting to their wedding? Oh, music. Smooth jazz. It is Worf. Ha 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 ha. I'm just watching this film. This isn't the most energetic moment, but no speeches and no clothes. Ladies and gentlemen, and invited transgender species. Oh, it's Blue Skies. What's up, Trekkies? How you doing, Conti? You having a good day? I hope you're having a good day. I see your tweets go by sometimes. So bright. Never saw things so bright. Blue skies smiling at me. Sing some Blue Skies, Conti. It'll make your day go better. There she is. People don't like the Enterprise E, it would seem. I do. I like it. It's more mean than the D for sure. But I think it's a good ship. I think it looks good. It's made for combat, right? The what, Mr. Wolf? They make jokes like big, handsome, strapping fellow like you, but he's a wolf. He technically has two penises, right? Maybe he didn't want to show off his two penises. Nope. Nope. Colaris 3. The film looks beautiful in my opinion. The CGI, Enterprise Bridge, etc. Enterprise E is more serious looking, but I love it. Not a big fan of the Enterprise D. I love the Enterprise D. The Enterprise D is beautiful, I think. But maybe it's a nostalgic thing. Maybe it's because I'm so used to it, right? I used to love Voyager, actually. I used to think Voyager was beautiful, and now I feel like it just looks overweight, but in the wrong places. You know what I mean? It's got the fat belly. It's looking a little plump. We will all honor the Betazoid tradition. So, what do you guys think about Geordi with no visor? Does it take away from who Geordi is as a character, or like from his personality? Would it be like giving Data an upgrade and making him look like any old human, flesh and correct eye colors, that kind of stuff? Conti prefers to sing in Klingon opera. You prefer to sing on opera to release your aggressive tendencies. That's fine. That's great. Do what you need to do. You know what I mean? It's just the beige. Yeah, beige is an old color. Fuck beige. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I see there's more viewers. If you're wondering what's happening, nothing much. I'm just watching Nemesis. I'm commenting along, and then if you want to talk about anything else, go ahead. This will probably be my longest live stream because the movie is like 2 hours or something. But yeah. You think Geordi was better without the visor? Okay. I think they could have given him like a movie upgraded visor. Did they do that technically? But no, I think they could have given him like a more flash looking visor maybe. But like I like the character growth and like the evolution of it all though. I like the fact that and your wife would never forgive me if anything were ever to happen to you. You just want to have fun. This is fun, Picard. This is Picard with his Hawaiian shirt on. He's off to have some fun in the dunes, yo. I think it's a nice development for him. Plus, his eyes look great, nice implants. Yeah, I guess that is the upgrade. Like the visor upgrade isn't a visor upgrade. It's those technological looking eyes, I guess. I would drink out of a Star Trek mug, but they're all too small, so I gotta drink my Disney ones. Fun Picard is better than action Picard. What's the difference between fun Picard and action Picard, Conti? It's the same thing, isn't it? It's like the worst Picard is season 1 TNG Picard. That's the worst Picard. Oh, here they go. They're coming out. I love the Argo too. Wow. I hear a lot of comments all the time about like why do they need the dune buggy or whatever it is if you have a shuttle, and I'm like, why not? You know what I mean? We have motorbikes nowadays. People ride bikes. We got cars. I don't know. Plus, I like the Argo buggy. It's nice. I gotta write things down. I was doing this to take notes originally for the Trek chat. The The wedding scene is nice. It's nice to get the wedding. I'm not sure it's the best. Oh, no, the wedding scene is nice. All right, then. Wedding scene, nice. Fat out. We'll search around. Wedding scene, nice. These are quality notes, people. Boom. And here we go. Finding the pieces of B4. Is it not a scary thing that the hand comes out of the ground? Or is it just that we've seen this so many times at this point that it no longer scares us? Maybe is it just a reference to whatever movie it was? It was it Dawn of the Dead that did that first time, or Night of the Living Dead, or whatever? What I've never enjoyed in this whole thing, though, is they put this like heat filter. They put a filter over the screen here. Sorry, on the camera, or whatever it is, to make it all look so hot. They want to make it look so hot, but I don't think it's necessary. Like, it's a sunny day in a desert. I get the point. It's hot. It just makes it all look fuzzy to me. Yeah, you did, Conti. I get freaked out easy by that kind of stuff. Wolf is ready, yo. They find like a second date ahead. Wolf's like, yo, what the hell's going on? I'm gonna shoot someone. It's you. No, it's not. I've always wanted a date ahead at home. Wife on the tube doesn't want a date ahead at home. I wouldn't mind having a date ahead at home. They're not using the B4 head, are they? I'll take it. Oh. The desert people have arrived. Australians. Yes, he's got the turret. This is what people don't like, I think. Why? Why? Data. They put him in the glove box. Glove box. All right. Who are these people? Do we know who these people are that attacked them? Huskin Raiders. Do we know who these people are? Do they have a name? Sand people, desert people. I hid in the glove box. Did they need a glove box, though? That's the question. Do they need the buggy, but do they need the glove box in the buggy? They are Nimbus 3 Desert Dwellers. That's it. That's what they are. That's their official designation. The Borg wouldn't assimilate them. What do they want, too? Like, were they ordered by Shinzon? Were they paid by Shinzon to fire on them? Or were they just like, get off my rocks! Get off my sand! They're so ugly. Hideous beasts. Love, bro. Hey, how you doing? I'm watching a movie. And I thought I'd talk about it as I watched it because we the fans of Star Trek uh, enjoy talking about movies again and again and again and again. All right, see ya. Kisses. See you later. The neural pathways aren't nearly as sophisticated. Cuts to before just I am before. I think that was in the idea. I think that was the idea. Conti says lure them to pick up before and then force them to leave before detecting any problems. Yeah, because they needed to get before. Like the nothing would work if like they all just got murdered on the planet. They needed to be able to leave the planet with before. If everyone died, it wouldn't work. Do we think that the engineers working with Geordi on before are just random engineers from the Enterprise, or do you think these people have like some sort of level of expertise in some type androids or artificial intelligence, anything like that? What is he just, anyone who's on shift? Yeah, you're right, Robbie. Janeway! Whoop whoop! Yes! With or without the rest of the fleet. Yes. Shinza. He's Riemann. Clearly, it's a coup d'etat, madam. Mm. Hardly. Yes, ma'am. Oh god, I'm so happy to see Janeway come back in Prodigy. I don't know what they're gonna do with her, how they're gonna deal with the character, but I'm so happy. Romulus, general engineers using general engineering knowledge, whatever the plots need them to do, they do. That's it. That's it. The plot demands that you engineer, so just get out there and engineer. What are you doing? I don't like that warp effect. That warp effect looks like smoke, or like steam. It's like a steam engine, a steam warp engine. In my rewatch of the original series, I realized that Romulus and Remus, was mentioned in the original series. It was like established canon already that Romulus had a sister planet. In the original series, they established this. So it took until this goddamn movie to like explore this. I don't know. It's baffling to me, but still. Like in Star Trek 09, they had the steam effect too. But didn't they have, what was the movie where they did the warp bubble? Oh, that was Beyond, I think, was it? The actual bubble? Well, it truly seems, I can't say his line, god damn it. It will be brilliant to have Janeway back. I loved Lower Decks, especially after underestimating how much I would like it. Oh yeah, that does happen to me too. I think, oh, this movie's gonna be, so shit or whatever, and then you watch it, it's like it's not bad. And Lower Decks was kind of like, I think a lot of people were like you, Robbie. A lot of people thought Lower Decks wouldn't be much, but it turned out to be like the best thing in Star Trek since a long time. An individual more like you. For the record, I know we're not there yet, but before, in the end of this film, I know everyone like wanted to think that he had like all of Data's capacities and memories, and he was going to become Data, or Data was going to transfer himself into like B4's body. Not only did I never believe any of that, but also I've always been completely against it. I think it goes against everything that Data stands for, that he would replace his brother in his own body. Data would never take control or possess B4's body just to live on. Like he would never do that. That's not a Data thing to do. He would rather B4 grow to the full potential, like his full potential, no matter how small that potential is and compared to Data, then replace him. Also, I like the name B4. I think it's clever. People give it shit, but I think it's clever. Not only do I think it's clever, but I think that Sung is the kind of jokey person that would do that. Run a few diagnostics. Inferior parts, yeah. I do want to see Lore again, though. I wonder where he is. Lore must be like disassembled somewhere, right? I guess in like a Starfleet facility, like a not a top secret Starfleet facility, but a highly secure one. All our hails have gone unanswered. I would have pissed the fuck off. 17 hours? Yo. I like the music in the motion picture. I like the music in all Star Treks, but I think the music in the motion picture, First Contact, Nemesis, and The Undiscovered Country, those are the ones that stand out to me. Patience. There it is. Oh, look at the size of the ship. Raising shields. He's right. Tactical analysis. It's a ship made to kill. Come on. She's a predator. Look at her. Oh my god. Oh, she looks it's so big. On screen. Hello. Enterprise. I love it. I gotta put this in my notes. Scimitar, so beautiful. I am his viceroy. When did this come out? Was it 2002? NEMESIS? I think so. Yeah, sending transports. Yeah, 2002. The ships feel a little fake, like they do feel a little CG. I think the visual effects are aging a bit now. Like the VFX on the older sci-fi films or the older Star Trek films, like the VFX themselves have aged, but the ship models still look fantastic because they were models. I don't know if they actually built a scimitar model, but it looks very bloody fake. It looks very CG anyway. We are not comfortable in the light. Captain Picard. You may scam me without subterfuge, Mr. Data. It's like, dude wasn't even trying to hide it. Come on. It's like got a slight lean to like no one's gonna notice this. Come on. God. Right on. I've never met a human woman before. This is a trope that I do not like, by the way. I don't like the stranded human woman or the stranded human male that they do in films or TV shows that have never seen like the other gender. You know, they've never seen the opposite sex. And so for some reason, like they're fascinated with like I think they did the same thing like Charlie X. It's like I'm not a fan of that. Tom Hardy felt really bad after this film, which is unfortunate. What do you mean he felt bad? He wasn't pleased with it? Hey, Tom Hardy, you were garbage in Venom, and it's a shit movie. You shouldn't make the second. This is fine. This is great. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about Nemesis. You have bigger problems now. Make another Mad Max. Promising to ignore. Am I right? The things that Shinzon tell Picard, like, I know what you're thinking. It's like anyone that's, I suppose, like an intelligent diplomat or a seasoned captain would kind of know that stuff. It's not necessarily because it's him, I think. Even the slightest whisper caused me agony. It's the lips that are a bit big, right? On Shinzon? Yes. As well as you, Captain. He became a crack addict and considered quitting acting. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I've never really looked into Tom Hardy too much, if I'm honest. Come to dinner. To be very fair, at this point, they kind of arrived. They're like, okay, there's a Riemann that's the new praetor of Romulus. I'm not saying that's not possible, but it's like it's never been done ever, so maybe something happened. Like you should consider, like Starfleet should have considered the possibility of a coup or of something very wrong, and then they arrive, and It's a human, right? I don't know. I would have been out of there. Like I would have been nope. I don't want to break a deal with any of these people because I don't know what the hell is going on. The knife. We saw one of those daggers in Picard, I think it was. Nerissa is her name. Mustache twirling evil incest Romulan sister. She had one of those knives. There's no doubt, Captain. Why? Why? I intend to find out, number one. Weren't you cloned, Riker, on a planet in like season 102, whatever it is? And beamed down to a planet and they cloned you? Silence, Romulan! We supported you when you killed the Senate. It's like, what? Now go. I must have misremembered something. I felt like they introduced Shinzon before the introduction to the crew in some sort of scene. Was that like in an extended version of the film or something? Because I remember commenting that it was a shame that they revealed Shinzon's face talking to the Viceroy before. But maybe I was mistaken. Before the Enterprise arrive, I guess. But maybe it's just me mistaken. Yes, I have. I think Star Trek 4 is my favorite, Robbie. The one with the whales. I think it's so good. And then it's First Contact. I think First Contact is like the greatest, really true science fiction, story from the Star Trek films. But like Star Trek 4 is the most fun I have watching the films. Smack it with that racism, yo. Or sexism. Or just general bigotry. You are not a woman. You are a Romulan. Like, what the fuck does that even mean, yo? Dispose of him. Yeah, it is. The voyage home is full of heart and fun. I love it. I do too. It's great. Now go. He's like confused as to why she's still here. How many people actually realize that we got Ron Perlman in Star Trek, though? Under all that makeup. Touch me again. I feel like Shinzon is Scar from The Lion King. He's like Space Scar. Well, Scar wasn't dying, I guess. I didn't. Conti. I didn't. As in, are you talking about Ron Perlman? Viceroy. The Viceroy is Ron Perlman. Who's Spot? When I was younger, I didn't know because I didn't know who the actors were. But then when I kind of grew up and kind of looked into who like the actors were in each of these movies, I can't for the life of me remember the name of The actor in Star Trek 4 though. I just can't. It eludes me all the time. Can't remember her name. But yeah. I don't like Data's eyes. Too yellow for me. With me. A Romulan agent in the heart of Starfleet. Well, they did that in Picard. They had Commander Sunglasses O. She was a Romulan agent in the heart of Starfleet, but apparently that wasn't an important enough position, so she just abandoned everything, flew her way to a synth planet with a fleet. He's like, nah, whatever. I don't need to be undercover anymore. Yes. He was so confident. So if they were to do a younger Picard somehow, or like flashbacks or whatever it is, would you guys want Tom Hardy to come back? Or just cast someone else? Oh, they look so good, those Elithine mines. I reckon that looks really cool. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I got distracted by the mines. Or do we bring James McAvoy into the mix? Young Xavier, young Picard. Under the brutal heel of the Romulan gods. "40 minutes into this movie, and there hasn't really been like a like there have been slower moments, but I think the pacing is well handled. I think that the intrigue is being set up quite well. I have no problem with the fun action sequence in the beginning where they were gathering up the parts of B4. I think this movie, well, I think it's not that bad, honestly. But up until now, these 40 minutes, I don't think people would have had too many problems with it. This is a smaller scale film, too. Like, everything happens in, like, one kind of nebula. It's a one-on-one ship fight. It's, he wants to attack Earth or something, but he never really gets around to it. From building this scimitar at a secret base, does he have to? That feels very movie-like, though. Like to need to explain that the scimitar was built in a secret base. He could have just said from building the scimitar to this and that. You don't trust me. I don't think so, Conti. I know a lot of people want that, and I think a lot of people were expecting that. Like I think a lot of people when Insurrection came around, they weren't expecting whatever the hell Insurrection was. They were expecting a Q movie. But I like the idea of not necessarily taking every villain from the shows and turning them to villains in the movies. Even if I would love to see like a Species 847 too. That's just me, maybe. But yeah, no, I like the idea of having villains that belong to the shows, I guess. And yeah, that's the thing is as omnipotent and as powerful and as terrifying as Q can be, and even the concept of the Q continuum, I think that using the Q continuum for more fun episodes, yeah, I think is a little better. I think the closest thing we came to it was having Soren in Generations, right? He's not quite Q. He's a Lorian, but like Guinan does. Oh, he's gonna fight the Q. Yeah, I think that's maybe the closest. Yeah, that's it. Q is more of a bigger brother who taught humanity the hard way, rather than a villain. That's very true. In time. Tom Hardy is doing such a good job. Oh my god, no one gives him credit. Well, people do, but he's just standing there and you can feel it in his face. He's giving, like, the actor is giving it everything because you can feel that Shinzon is in deep, deep pain just standing there, but he's pretending like everything's fine. He's got his hand behind his back and he's like this, but he's there's so much pain. View from Lookout. Hello, welcome to the stream. How you doing? I don't think I've seen you around. The Q would be a backstory of maybe a human that became a Q and a former Starfleet officer. Yeah, well, there's a lot of things they could explore. I don't think they're movie potentials, though, to be honest. But I mean, I would like to stay away from everything that is like omnipotent powers and timelines and all of that from movies from now on. Like I like the villains that are like, not necessarily a simple I want to kill this planet villain, but I like the villain in Insurrection, right? I like that whole idea. I need options. Has he given the order to Deanna to to keep on getting raped yet? No, not yet. What a horrible scene. This was a mistake. We're wasting time. My time. Now. Shinzon is basically Brock too from Venom with like the black. The costumes are really good. They seem very uncomfortable, and I do wonder how the hell they put them on in the morning or in the evening, or whatever it is, but that's a nice touch with the uniform. Deanna and Troy were so. Yeah, well, to be fair, like, even Geordi and Worf and Riker are underutilized in the films. It really, like, the movies are really like Data and Picard. And that's basically what TNG is anyway. The Kelvin timeline would be better if Q had been put in mess with Kelvin, Kirk, and Spock. Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't mind seeing a Kelvin Q though. You know what I mean? Like cast some just out there actor. Um, Give us like a Kelvin Q. Who could do a Kelvin Q? Who could do a Kelvin Q? Has to be younger, I guess, even if technically they have no age. Enjoy your meal, Conti. See ya. Kelvin Q. What about Q's son? Who was that actor? Oh, that's right. Q had a son, right, in Voyager. This is the moment it slows down a bit. Like the romance here with Riker and Deanna, and I don't think it's absolutely necessary. But I suppose, you got to put that romance in your movie. Oh, but that's right. I forgot. They wanted to do that scene with his shins on. Sadi. Even sounds like Scott. Sarabi. I'll always be with you now. My favorite TNG movie, I think, was Generations. That's controversial. You'll get a lot of people comment and tell you that that's controversial. Would have been interesting to see more from the Enterprise B. That's very true. I think Larry Nemechek has like beef with the fact that there's like a complete era of Starfleet history that we've skipped over. We've never seen anything that happens like the Enterprise B and stuff. I would like to see that era too. It's accelerating. The Remans are basically like dark elves, right? No, well, they kind of look like orcs too. They're terrifying things. How many Remans are left? None? Or just a couple? Maybe there's 100, 200. A very small amount of Remans. Because I doubt many Remans manage to ever leave Remus. And so the very few that manage to leave Remus, they're the ones that are still alive. But following the Romulus supernova, boom. Begin the download. I feel so happy Strange New Worlds is being filmed soon. First time going to episodic storylines since Enterprise and sit on the Enterprise with such a great cast. Yeah, I think Strange New Worlds is. Well, I don't know if Strange New Worlds is going to be. This is one of the things like Lower Decks, I was hype, but it's kind of surpassed my expectations. Strange New Worlds, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm really terrified they're going to screw that up, but we'll see. There it is. Deanna, can you describe it? It was a violation. No, it was tears, pause. It was a violation. If you can endure more of these assaults, I need you by my side. Fuck you, Picard. You can't order that. I refuse. How inconsiderate. Seriously. He got stolen. That's all you deserve. Bone Lord, how you doing? I've never seen you before. Still amazes me that Ron Perlman is the Viceroy. We were talking about that a few minutes ago, actually. I was saying that maybe not everyone notices or not everyone knows that Ron Perlman is in Star Trek, but he's like there's so much heavy makeup and everything. But it's great. It's cool. It's really cool. The letdown for Trek was what happened to before. You think it was a letdown? I'm very happy that they didn't go like the comic book route where they like put data into before, and I'm happy they didn't go that way. I do think that before could be allowed to exist outside of in a in a in a drawer like the synth planet. If all of the synths are just living fine and happy and dandy on that planet, why can't they have before around? I think they explained that he started breaking down or whatever, but it's like stop trying to push his programming. Just let before whistle, sing a song, do a Rubik's cube, whatever it is. Just like sit him down in a corner. No one needs to excel in everything. Not everyone needs to be brilliant and genius and like Data. Some of us are morons. Let us be morons and happy in the sun. I don't think he would have been fit to become a Starfleet officer. I think he couldn't make the cut. My life is meaningless as long as you're still alive. Echo. We will no longer bow before anyone as slaves. That's the no. The line must be drawn here. That's a bit of that coming out, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know if Tom Hardy actually watched TNG or watched some of Sir Patrick Stewart's performances to help inform his own performance. I don't know if he did that research. Put him on a Galaxy class at 10 forward. Yes, that I agree with. B4, give him a crash course in cocktails and space cocktails. What's Shinzon's motivation? Shinzon needs Picard's blood to save himself, or like injections of, like, I don't know, his DNA, or he needs to study something because he was made wrong. That's Shinzon. And then his motivations. And then I think it's just like a megalomaniac kind of thing where he was tired of living in the shadows of the Romulans for so many years, and he was tired of living in like the shadow of the. He was the echo to this great Starfleet captain Jean-Luc Picard that accomplished so many things, and so he wanted to not only take down Picard himself, but also like everything that Picard fought for, like to prove to the galaxy that the shadow, the echo, can be better or stronger, more powerful than the original. I guess I think that's where it comes in. He's just crazy. I mean, he doesn't have one of the most like. He's crazy. He's not the most relatable villain, I think. No, it's not a bad motivation. It works. I mean, it works for what it is, because like the film is all about like mirrored, mirroring of things and what have you. Oh, here we go. Geordie supplied me with the prototype for emergency transport. Yeah, so this is where like so the movie slowed down. I said that at 40 minutes it was fine, but these last 20 minutes have been kind of slower. Less interesting things are happening. I think maybe they could have, I don't know, could they have cut some of those scenes short? We're still getting exposition at this point. It is time for the procedure. Ron Perlman with the fangs coming up. Move! Puny human animal. Well, this is where it becomes much more movie, Robbie. Like this is where it's not only did you have like the second kind of exposition about how he needs the blood to save himself and what have you, but then now you've got this whole little subplot of this smaller arc where they need to escape from the scimitar. And so I hate the kill him thing. Oh no, villains, stop killing your henchmen. Oh my god. You don't, what do you like this? Are they disposable? Don't be so mean. Especially Shinzon. It makes no sense that he would just disrespect and disregard Remans like that. Because the Remans have been shit on for so many years by the Romulans. You'd think that he would, cut them some slack or protect them feel protective about them anyway. Shinzon and Thomas Riker, although Thomas is not evil, he's a Shadow of War Riker. Thomas isn't, I don't know, he's morally gray, I guess. Yeah, so as I was saying, Robbie, they do all the second exposition, and now you get this whole thing where they need to escape the scimitar, so there's like a phaser fight. Although I will say, I haven't even been taking notes, although I will say that I love the shuttle. Shuttle in the corridors. I love it. Commander! So Data is very quick at like cracking this code for the door and what have you. He's reading the language, what have you. Yes, but considering how strong Data is, wouldn't it have been faster for him to just like open the door like that, just like pull it open? I wonder. My favorite captain is Cisco. Love the scene in Deep Space Nine with Dax when she tells him that the wolf is scared of him. Oh, here we go. The scene's gonna begin. I like Cisco. He's not my favorite captain though. The design of this shuttle is like it's Warhammer 40K Dark Elf. I reckon it looks like. Would you like me to drive? Picard gets angry. Picard was like a pilot when he was younger. Only one way to go. So this CG has aged very badly. The shuttle looks like shit. I mean, the design, the aesthetic choices are great. It just like the visual effects, the quality is not good. It doesn't look good. Slow motion remnants falling over. Sparks everywhere. This reminds me of Halo. When I used to play Halo, the first one, you would try to get your goddamn vehicle inside the hallways. Yeah, he escaped. Shinzon. Tractor beam now! Oh, just in time. Yeah, exactly, right? Silent cartographer with the warthog. Yeah. You gotta get past those first few posts. And then once you're in, you. The Enterprise is immaterial. It wouldn't even make it out the neutral zone. The Enterprise is immaterial. So this is where it kind of falls apart a bit. Like Shinzon tells the Romulan Senate, what remains of it, that he needs the Enterprise and he needs Picard. And he's like, why? Can't you explain it to us? And he's like, I have my own reasons. And then now, cut to bloody whatever, 30 minutes later, he's all like, I don't, the Enterprise is immaterial, doesn't matter. He is just genuinely crazy. What's she called? Kamada Dinatra? Is that it? Dinatra's great. His sins will mark us and our children for generations. Ooh. Yeah, we had so many good games on the original Xbox. So why didn't they kill him? That's the thing. Why didn't the Romans just kill Shinzon? Like, they sent him to the Riemann mines and then they forgot about him, I guess. But like, what, bureaucracy got in the way of dealing with the problem. But like, you've essentially created someone that's going to be as intelligent as Picard. Like, even if he hasn't had the same life experiences, the mind of Picard will, I don't know. I don't know. I would have killed him. I would have killed him. I would have killed Shinzon. I would have been like, nah. Maybe they didn't feel like it because it was a kid, but like once Shinzon's an adult, I love this. There are 7 viewers and 9 thumbs up. So 7 of the 9 people that put thumbs up are watching. I love it. 7 of 9. Thank you. Brother, no. Why? Well, so Brent Spiner, I think Brent Spiner, everyone praises his performances constantly, but Brent Spiner did a great job in this movie. Not for 1 second do I even think about the fact that it's Brent Spiner doing the 2 roles. There really is like a before and a Data in front of me. Although, if you do want to get technical, I think before should have looked like TNG season 1 Data. He shouldn't have looked like Nemesis Data, because Nemesis has that Data has that thing where he ages, and so they kind of explain it away that his skin age, he imitates the aging that humans do. But I don't think before was advanced enough yet to have that kind of tech on him. So yeah, but anyway, they were limited by the technologies of the time. You're not gonna like deep fake or de-age. It would have been a lot of money at the time. I don't think it was even possible. 2002. What time did goddamn what's its face come out? Tron Legacy. Be 10. So that's 8 years later. And I don't even think they didn't even do any de-aging. I think they just stuck an old head on a young body. That's what they did. I don't blame him for wanting to be killed off. Brent Spiner, you mean? I imagine it would be difficult to keep playing Data. Well, I think eventually you kind of get over it. As an actor, as like a creative or an artist, you kind of get over playing the same, character over and over again. I think maybe you want to try different things. Strength in numbers. He must not be allowed to use that weapon. I've never noticed how depressed Deanna looks in that whole conference scene. I've actually never noticed that. We need to stop him from using the weapon. All else is secondary, and she looks so dead inside. And I don't know if that was done on purpose, but it fits the fact that she's been mentally violated. Um, I don't know. It's so horrible. What a horrible thing. Initiate the force field. They got a big ass force field around the warp core now. Captain's personal log. I wait for the dawn. Yeah, that's right. I think it was because she didn't get on with the director. I think that, yeah, that's right. Most people seem to not get on too well with the director, and like the directing wasn't a fun movie to make. I think should have just let Frakes direct it. Eh? How long? A matter of hours. Did they spray sweat onto the Viceroy? You gotta sweat, Remans. And here we begin the next generation's try at making their own Wrath of Khan. I think. 40 minutes. Apart from the initial, like, what is it, 17 hours, I think it is, that kept, like, that the crew wait in orbit of Romulus, most of this happens in, like, a day. The entire, like, the scope of the movie is really, really small. All of it happens in, like, a day. There's a few, or maybe a day and a night. 17 hours and 1 minute. Hey, Jesse, how you doing? How you doing? It is 17 hours and a minute because there has to be like the whole scene where Picard's sitting and telling them that. I was saying that I would be pissed off. I'd be like, fuck that shit. 17 hours, I'd leave. 1701. I disagree with you, Data. Data says that B4 does not aspire to be better than he is, and I agree with that, but he says that Shinzon doesn't either, and I disagree. I think Shinzon does aspire to be better than what he is. It's just that Shinzon doesn't have the same idea of what being better is. Like, he legitimately believes that if he is able to not only take over the Romulan Empire, but also destroy the Federation, then he will be better. That is his interpretation. Shinzon should have turned good at the end of the movie. Are you a fan of that kind of thing? I'm not the biggest fan of when they make their villains too gray. But I do think, yeah, maybe it could have worked for Shinzon. Do you mean have like a change of heart and then he still dies? Or do you mean like legitimately become good? And like he realizes the error of his ways. And then what? Does the Viceroy become the real insane villain? Do you make Shinzon fight the Viceroy? Shinzon has been deprived of a better life, and now it has resulted in this. Shows what bad parenting can do to someone. I guess. It also goes to show that I suppose extremism and all of the bad things in people can also be a product of the discrimination and disrespect that you show them, especially if it's for generations and generations. Like, I don't know how long have the Romulans been on Romulus at this point? Thousands of years. The Remans were there before them. They arrived, enslaved them, threw them in like mines, and have been whipping them for just millennia. They fed the hatred. I mean, honestly, playing the Remans as bad guys solely was a bad move too. Remans had a legit grievance considering they were slaves. Yeah, no, yeah, totally. That's a thing though. Like in the beginning, I was mentioning how like Picard arrives, and then Shinzon wants to. I love this hologram scene though. Who walks through the Shinzon's all about like I'm Praetor now. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chit chat. And it's like, wait a minute, this human leading a Riemann attack force is now Praetor of the Romulan Empire. I don't think you should be negotiating with him on behalf of the Federation. Like, I don't think the Federation, as a general rule, I don't think negotiates with terrorists. And it's like you should at least contact someone at Starfleet, be like, "Yo, this is what the situation looks like. I'm pretty sure dude is a terrorist of some kind." I would have had Shinzon turn good and try to convince the Remans to stop their crusade, but the Remans are too galvanized at this point. Yeah. Shinzon dies, stopping the Remans, place Shinzon and Remans as morally grey, and it would have shown that Shinzon was influenced by Picard and the Federation ideals. Perhaps. That could be interesting, but I would argue that comes down to yet again making like the human character the good guy. Maybe we could play it different, like complete opposite, and make it that like the Remans are like what's going on with like Shinzon just goes completely insane, and so the Remans are the ones that kind of back down and be like, "Yo, Shinzon's way too crazy for us. We just wanted to make a point." And so you can play it into like the Remans become kind of the good, gone fuzzy. The Remans become kind of the good guys. Kind of like a Captain Marvel twist. They did the Captain Marvel twist with the different species, and it turns out it's not the species that like our view of each species, our interpretation, I suppose, or from our point of view, we were misunderstanding the situation completely. But at this point, all of it is moot because Shinzon's dead, the Remans are gone, no one's left. I wouldn't mind seeing one Reman pop up in like Picard or whatever, be like, "Hi," and then someone's like, "Oh my god, a Reman! I've never seen one before." He's like, "Yeah, there's only very few of us left, and I was looking for a family, and so I found." Would it make sense for a Reman to find Starfleet as a family, or maybe the Fenris Rangers? Like if they do a spin-off, a 7 of 9 Fenris Rangers spin-off, put a Reman in there. You know what I mean? View from Lookout. B4 should have had a scene on a Galaxy class watching a holodeck program, Guinan explaining how to be a great bartender. Yeah. That's what Guinan did in her spare time. She recorded a training program for bartenders. Picard said that he can't convince Shinzon, and then the Viceroy and Picard connect to stop Shinzon and kill him. And in the end, the Viceroy says he misses Shinzon. I am quite happy that the movie kind of introduces, because here she is, Commander Donatra. So she is not. First of all, we need to see her again. Goddamn, we need Captain Donatra in like lower decks or in Picard or something. We need Commander Donatra back in Trek. She's amazing, and this I think is they really wanted to reinforce Shinzon and the Remans as the villains, so that they could like the switch was in the on the Romulan side. Considering the Romulans were like the bad guys for so many years in Star Trek, now they're the good guys. Here we go. Here we go. The fight scene begins. Who's the handsome lad at the helm? Who's that guy? Mr. Jawman? Mr. Jawline? Who are you? Who's the better bartender, Quark or Guinan? It depends. What's a bartender to you? Is a bartender someone who brings you the drink, or is a bartender someone that also talks to you and helps you work through problems. Because Quark will get you that drink, snap, snap. Like, you need the drink, he'll get it to you. Guinan will help you, speak to you, talk to you, and help you out. Boom! See, the VFX on this fight looks so much better than the shuttle in the corridor. Really. I would have preferred, with Star Trek Picard being a prequel, with the series Picard rise up as the one who won the Battle of Maxia. What? What are you talking about? What Maxia? I don't know what you're talking about. He's losing his cloak. Battle of Maxia. Oh, okay, yeah. That's right. The whole Bok situation. Fire! And then he struggles through it. Ooh. Drifting off. I think the makeup's pretty damn good. And that shot of the Romulan Woober just drifting off, it's so good. So I'm assuming that Commander Denatra is speaking in Romulan, and it's being translated by the Universal Translator. And I'm also assuming that she doesn't use the expression "dead in the water." I'm thinking that's a human expression. It's an English expression, more to the point. I think she says something else. I wonder what the Romulan equivalent is. Oh, this is where Ron Perlman gives it everything. What is it? She's here. And then they gave Deanna the Captain Kirk lighting. Oh. This is good tension. This is well handled. Bouncing off what you were saying earlier, Robbie, they technically do give her something to do here. It's like, the meme of Deanna always saying in TNG, I feel nothing. Well, here she can sense where the ship is, so she helps. No! Remember me? Torpedoes. Quark quoting the rules of acquisition. Yeah, that's it, right? That's all the talk he's got. Bring me Picard. See, this is the thing, right? This is what happens with Nemesis. You have this build-up, and then you feel like it's like a climactic ending, but it's not. You're only basically 3/4 into the movie at this point, because this whole battle situation isn't the end. It isn't the denouement. There's more to it. Then you have to go to the bloody scimitar, and everything happens on there. Read. That Reman is really tall and really skinny. He's like a belter. Star Wars rules, said Irish Trekkie. Hey, Damien, how you doing? How are you? Hope you're doing fine. I'm watching Nemesis because I have a very special guest coming on Trek Chat tomorrow. Though the episode will be released on the 1st, but yeah. And it's a guest that you know. But I'm not going to spoil who it is, though, just in case. But anyway, I'm very happy. We're going to be talking about, we're going to do like a Nemesis extravaganza. Bonjour, mon ami. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the Riker jump into the Jeffries tube, like the. Jonathan Frakes getting a bit hefty at this point. Well, he's getting older. Like the character's getting older too, so makes sense. They sexied him up a bit in Lower Decks. I got to admit, they Lower Decks. They gave him a bit of a jawline in Lower Decks. I completely forgot about this entire scene. Oh my god, that's right. While the battle is going on in the nebula, Riker has a fight with the Viceroy. Oh, this is so cool. Oh my god, when they shoot through the view screen. See ya. It takes too long for the goddamn force field to come up. Should be immediate. What are you doing, Starfleet? When there's a breach, the should go up immediately. Report. So how do you exhaust your complement of photon torpedoes? How does that happen? Can you not replicate more? Is there something inside the photon torpedoes that is unreplicatable matter? What's he doing? What does he say? He wants to look me in the eye. Something like that. There you go. I didn't have the intonation right. Small. He wants to look me in the eye. We've got him. Antimatter. Is there antimatter inside the photon torpedoes? So they can't replicate the contents or the the detonation element to the photon torpedoes, I guess. As far as I know, the torpedoes are antimatter explosives, so probably can't replicate antimatter. Yeah, well, I mean that makes sense. So you have a complement on board, and once you're out, you're out. Because you can't run out of phases, I guess. This is like energy beams, right? See, this is all very good. I love this. I love it when Star Trek does these kind of crafted battles where Captain Picard is sending the orders on the pad while he's speaking, and so I don't know. It feels more how could I put this? I don't know. I don't know how to put it. It's not just action, explosions, and everyone shooting at everything. It's more thought out. You know what I mean? More planned, strategic. The reaction shot of the Riemann. Yeah, you're gonna get hit. Hot port! Oh, it's so good. Boom, motherfuckers. That's a Janeway move. I feel like when Janeway got back, she explained what she did, and Picard was like, yo, I'm not bloody, bold enough. I gotta do these things. Crash into another ship, yo. That's a good shot. And the shuttles look better, too. With, like, everything exploding and Shuttle Bay getting wrecked. And the debris looks good, too, here. Picard barely hanging on that chair. Thank you for sticking with me, people. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, do all of the good things. No, I'm kidding. Do whatever you want. Thank you for sticking around and commenting. I haven't taken half as many notes as I should have, but anyway, it was fun. I like talking to you guys. Oh, that's right. I had already forgotten about the Viceroy Riker fight. Yes. Full reverse. It's kind of a crazy move to do that. So there's no kids on the Enterprise E, right? Would he have done this with the Enterprise D? I wonder. With all of the kids aboard and everything. Or maybe he could have, like, detached the saucer section and just rammed the saucer section, but, like, evacuated everyone to the drive section. Actually, Ron Perlman's really tall, isn't he? Ron Perlman height. Oh, not that much. Okay. Because Jonathan Frakes is way tall. Curse you, Nemesis! Curse you for doing that. I hate you so much. I like the movie, but I hate you for kicking the Viceroy into an abyss. Now everybody on Star Trek needs to be killed by being kicked into an abyss. God damn it. But at least we got two ships ramming into each other. That's pretty cool. Why does Geordi have all of this shit on him? Geordi's all dusty. He's got all that garbage on his head. No one else is dusty. Well, Data's got a few particles. He's got a few specks. An abyss on the bottom deck. Yeah. Hey, Jay. How you doing, Jay? Yeah. Go to the lower wrist of the lower wrist decks, and then there's an abyss, right? We just, yeah. Discovery puts abysses anywhere. So Nemesis puts abysses on the bottom deck. Picard just put a random abyss as well, but I guess that's a Borg cube. They had justification for the abyss. We must complete our mission. Those nails must be really annoying to hit the dials. You know, they got those big physical buttons and. Sits back. What are your ideals, though? Some ideals are worth dying for, aren't they, John Luke? Yeah, but, like, what are your ideals? And now the scimitar deploys. This doesn't look as good. CG doesn't look as good here. VFX. Guess it depends on what shots and who's doing them. But hey, the one thing Star Trek Generations needed was Q to come to rescue them when the warp core was about to blow. I mean, Q could snap in and save them at any given point. No one on the Enterprise will survive. Thank you for the exposition. Not about me anymore. She's bloody loyal, that Deanna Troi, I'll tell you that. You know what? Because that Data, she just is Data. But she was going to argue, she was going to tell Data, stand down. Picard has to go and do this, even if he dies. And she's like, so either she's mad at Picard, and she's like, just let him do it so he dies. But no, I don't think so. I think she was loyal. I think she was just like, you know what, Data? This is a thing that he has to do. Shooting them grunts. I so wish they had used the end of this this movie to set up a Titan TV series. Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of missed that. Lower Decks is filling that blank, though, I guess, to some certain extent. Like season 2. Spoilers for anyone that hasn't really seen Lower Decks, I guess. But season 2 of Lower Decks, or at least some of it, will take place on the USS Titan. Ooh. Ow. I've seen too many movies now. The jump didn't look good. The Data jump, he's too. He doesn't look. It didn't look good. My problem with the jump is the music, though. I don't like the music. I think they give it like this uplifting tone, whatever it is. You know what? And I don't want to spoil The Expanse too much, so I'm not going to go into too many details. But The Expanse recently did a space jump also, and it was so goddamn good that this just pales in comparison now. From the jumping to the catching on to the visual effects behind it. So yeah. He blows the door to pieces. What is he? What does he have? He's just like a phaser rifle. It completely disintegrates the door. The music, the phasers firing, the aesthetic, all of this kind of feels like those Matrix movies, kind of. I don't know. It's got those Matrix. I guess it's the era, like the 2000s. There's a lot of green too. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Reading the Dark Veil now. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's the book with Riker and Troy on it on the cover. I don't read any of the Trek books. I don't know if they're worth it. Are they worth it? Should I be reading the Trek books? I'm not a big reader, to be honest. I like my TV. I like seeing the things, the music and everything. One cliche trope, like a movie trope that this film does, is like the villain kind of on the pike, I like that. I actually. Oh my god! Oh, the visual effects was so video game like, with the big ass cannon coming out. Oh my god! The two Picard novels add some nice content. Well, I watched some of the I watched some of the videos from our other Trekkies out there, Kowalski, Kurtratz, people that do kind of book reviews or go over some of the details that some of the books add. And so, yeah, I kind of know what that first book was all about, like adding backstory to the characters in Picard, the two Romulan characters. But I don't know, I'm just not interested. I think it's the performance that sells it here, because it is a cliche. It's a common trope or an overdone trope of the villain kind of just like leaning into the pain, but he just pulls in. Oh my god, he sells it so well. He stares Picard down. The Irish Romulans, yeah, that's right. What were they called? I forget. I'm not good with McCannon. I'm glad we're together now. Jeffrey Beauregard. I like the name, yo. Beauregard. Galactic Federation on Mars, working with aliens on Mars and Earth. And we let aliens do experiments on people. Was on news. Nobody talks about it. There's a fine line between science fiction and reality. I don't know where you're going with this. My issue is that Nemesis is that base story is good, the execution not so much. I think that is the general idea, because I do like a lot of the themes that they address with Nemesis. I just think the script needed to be polished a bit. Some of the kinks that people have with it, like here Data beams Picard over, and it's like, oh, Data could have jumped away. It's like, I don't. That's it's symbolic. It's there are certain things that you can kind of forgive when it comes to movie logic. And no, he couldn't jump off. Looking at the scene, he had to blow the ship up. That's right, Laris and Zhaban. That's right, Laris and Zhaban. Tarantino should have a go at the Kelvin timeline. I don't think Tarantino fully understands the concept of the timelines. I don't mean to be mean or disrespectful, but if you listen to the conversation that he had on whatever podcast it was about making a Star Trek film, he said that one of his agents or one of the people that work for him kind of tried to explain him all of that, and he didn't really get that. So I don't know. I don't think he needs to do like Kelvin. I think we can leave the Kelvin timeline alone for a bit. I want a final one, but I think we can leave it be for a minute. Like, just give Tarantino like an original series era bloody cowboy diplomacy kind of movie, and let him do whatever the hell he wants with it. He'd love that. Give him like just 60s props and 60s sets and shit. Tarantino would be all over that. He'd love it. Make him film it all on a bloody, in a shack on a planet, on like a desert planet. Oh god. The emotional scene, everyone's sad. I'm speaking and everyone's sad because Data died. On screen. Commander Denatra, she's back. Yo. Mm-hmm. We're dispatching shuttles with medical personnel and supplies. Beginning of a new era. I was joking, it would be Pulp Fiction in space. I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. I was rooting for Tarantino to get that project, by the way. And I really do hope that he's still got one of those writers working on it. I think Tarantino will do a great job. I don't think people automatically assume that Tarantino is just going to do like Tarantino, but with like a Star Trek skin on it. I don't think so. I think Tarantino, although he doesn't seem too savvy with the timelines and the implications of all of that, I do think Tarantino is I think he's very adaptable, and I think he understands like the the universe that Star Trek is, or like the world that it is, and I think he would be very capable of adapting his filmmaking style and making something that suits Star Trek, even if it would be very unique. But what do you guys think of like out of continuity films? That's an idea I've been toying with for a while now. Like, make a statement before the movie comes out. Like, this is this director's or this writer's spin or twist or take on Star Trek and of the universe of Star Trek. But and even though like all of the artistry that's gone into it, we respected it, it's not part of the official continuity of Star Trek. Like, what would you guys think about doing that kind of stuff? Does it take away from the movie that comes out? Is it a waste of time basically to produce a movie that in the end ultimately doesn't take place within your continuity? Or does it free you up to be able to play with Star Trek in yet another way? See, a film nowadays would have probably used footage from Data whistling in the holodeck to remind you, and this one didn't. We're not that dumb, right? With the Kelvin timeline, who's to say Data could appear because it's not said that when Data was properly born? Kind of like Galaxy Quest. It would be. Yeah. Jay, you think it would confuse casual audiences? Perhaps. Perhaps. But I mean, at this point, we're going to have. I don't know. Like with multiverses and everything, people are easing into it now. With the multiple Spider-Men and the multiple Batmans going on all at once. You know what I mean? Like, we've already got 2 current Spocks, technically. Yeah, it would have to be a movie thing. You couldn't make like an entire show sit and just like, oh, well, this show doesn't make sense. We're doing whatever. It would have to be like very unique takes, like very self-contained projects. I think. There we go. He accepted the promotion. He's going to the Titan. Serving with you was an honor. The honor was mine. Shaking hands. This is a goodbye on screen, and it really does feel like a cast goodbye too. I think Nemesis was a good end to the TNG era, personally. But then I defend this movie more than the odd person, like the usual person. Just the DC universe mayhem. Like the DC universe have like the Arrowverse going on. They've got the DCEU going on. They've got DC Black Label, which is like Joker, and other movies that'll be coming out like Joker, which are officially part of no continuity. But they've also got like the Snyder Cut, which technically speaking, from what Zack Snyder's saying, is like this movie will be Justice League, but it won't be part of the continuity of the DCEU because it basically disproves or like the continuity wouldn't work anymore. Anyway, and then there's all these Batman movies, which are supposed like Robert Pattinson Batman movies are supposed to be young Ben Affleck Batman. They used to be supposed to be young Batfleck, but they've got a show planned, like Gotham show planned for like those films, but I don't know how those films are going to connect because like they've recast a whole lot of people, but they recast people and like they did like some gender swaps and some ethnicity swaps. That's fine. Who gives a shit like what ethnicity or what gender? But it's like if these are the same characters in the same continuity, supposedly. So I think anyway, as you say, they're all over the place. Did you just make this stream up? I did not. I'm watching Nemesis. Starfleet boy. Hi, how you doing? I did make this stream up. Never saw the sun shining so bright. I decided to watch Nemesis because I needed to watch Nemesis to take notes, and my notes are very small. I've got basically no notes because I've been talking. And I decided to watch Nemesis, talk about Nemesis a bit. Now and then I comment about a scene. and I've been talking to the good people that have been watching me. Quite a few of you have been actually watching, sitting through this entire thing. Thank you for being here. We're talking about doing out of Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about doing movies in Star Trek that would be outside of the continuity. Like you give a director or a writer the opportunity to make a project of their vision, of their interpretation of what Star Trek is, and then basically announce it as it comes out. Say it's not part of the official Star Trek continuity. How would you feel about that? There you go. Directed by Stuart Baird. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da. I want sexy Andorian movies. Those are. We're not talking about Bourne parodies here. Based upon Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry. All right, I'm not going to sit through the entire credits. I usually do when I'm alone. I like listening to the music, but I'm going to skip it. I'm going to skip it for the sake of this stream. All right. 1,000,000 out of 10. No, I kid. All right, boom. Okay, well, that was it. I didn't take half as many notes as I wanted to. It's 5:10, which means I'm technically already late-ish. I need to go get baby on the tube. She's at daycare. Not sexy Orion films. No, we're staying away from that now, Robbie. We're staying away from the Orions. But sexy Andorians. Andorians supposedly have 4 genders. I'd love to know how that works. For physical different genders. I'd love to know that. Anyway. Yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking around and leaving comments. I hope I didn't bore you to death. I don't know how the hell you just sat around listening to me watch Nemesis. Maybe you watched it along. Nemesis isn't half as bad as what I. You know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna do this before I leave. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna rate it on my very elaborate rating system. Okay, the plot. Out of 11. Yes, because my elaborate rating system is numbered in a way that it makes no sense. But believe me, it ends up making sense. How good is the plot out of 11? I think it holds up. It's a bit bloated. It has some things that I wouldn't have necessarily left in, but I like the themes that it plays with. I think it's solid enough. I'll give it a 7 out of 11. The pacing, the editing, the structure. This is the thing. I think that the pacing is like they could have handled the pacing a bit better. Out of 11 too, by the way. Yeah, they're all out of 11, by the way, except the last one, which is out of 12. Anyway, pacing, structure, editing. I think they could have handled that a little bit better. But like again, the pacing of the film could have been handled better, but the editing, like the battle sequences, they're very well put together. I think that they do, I'll give it a 7 too. The acting and the characters, I think the acting's good. I think all of the performances are really, really good. I think Ron Perlman killed it. I joined late and was listening at work. Oh, it was loud, but anyway. Again, out of 11, the acting, the characters. I think that some of the characters could have been better developed. In particular, the Remans as a whole. But just having them on screen for the first time ever is like a win. I think everyone did a great job with the acting. And I actually do think, even like Commander Nanatra is cool. We don't have any evil admirals for once. The Remans are trash elves. Trash space elves. Trash space dark elves. That's what they are. Danatra's cool. Yeah, she really is. Acting and characters, I'll give it an 8.5. Give it a bit of a boost. Dialogue. See, this is what the dialogue is a bit movie-ish to me. I felt it's a bit like out of 11 again. It's a bit everything's like an exposition dump. Although I think it's the actors that really like hold the dialogue up, so we'll go lower. We'll go like a 6.5 for the dialogue. Cinematography and direction. I think it's well handled. I know the director didn't. Apparently, the director wasn't again out of 11. Cinematography, the direction. Again, like the The director apparently wasn't the nicest guy to work with, but it's well shot. It's well directed. It's competently directed, at least. I'm trying to think about some of these. Oh, I don't like the. Yeah, I'll give it a 7 too. Wow, too many sevens. Anyway, production design, the aesthetics of it all. Out of 11 again. Well, I like the aesthetics in the sense that I like the Remans. I like the Reman costumes. I like Romulus. I like seeing the Romulan planet. I like the scimitar. I think all of that looks good. The Enterprise E is beautiful. I actually very much enjoy the design of the Thaleron thing that they've got going on. I think the whole movie looks, it's got a nice vibe to it. I don't like the heat filter, the heat effect that they give the planet in the beginning, Nimbus 3 or whatever it is. It's not Nimbus 3, but yeah, but anyway. So aesthetics, I'll give it a 9. That's high actually. But anyway. Yeah, they hated Stuffy Boy. Yes, says they hated him. Apparently, it's not well directed. Frakes got the project. I suppose there would have been too many Frakes films back to back. Maybe it could have been LeVar Burton's film. That would have been cool. Actually, LeVar Burton could have handled this pretty well, actually, I think. Frakes says not agreeing to direct Nemesis is his one big regret. Well, yeah, I think everybody would have liked it. Anyway, check on the tube. I'm going to go and watch the season 1 of Star Trek Voyager. I got through post. All right. See ya. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us, you. Anyway, visual effects and enhanced visuals. The visual effects in this movie do not exactly hold up. But then again, they came out in 2002. And I kind of feel like they were pretty friggin' good for 2002. This is where I have to pull up the Googles. What happened? What came out in 2002? Movies, 2002. What came out the same year? That had VFX in it. Reign of Fire. Spider-Man 1. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Oh, dear. Oh, my God. Wow. Okay, the Two Towers. Yeah. So Nemesis didn't look that good. Spy Kids 2, eh? It bit Spy Kids 2. Yeah, there's a lot of Blade 2. I've never actually seen the Blade movies. The Scorpion King came out in 2002. Really? Okay. Born Identity. Transporter. Okay. Those are romantic films that don't have heavy VFX. I think the VFX are pretty good, but they don't really hold up. I'll give it a 6 for like competent, because like 5.5 out of 11 would be like just an average. I'll give it a 6 as like no, I'll give it a 6. I'll be nice. I'll give it a 6.5. The music out of 11, again, like music just gets a solid bloody 10, yo. Music throughout is good. There's one moment where it feels a bit, just it feels like a score more than anything. But yeah, and overall enjoyment. You know what? I enjoy this movie. Out of 12, what do you guys give it out of 12? Overall enjoyment. I enjoy this movie. I think it works. I might give it an 8 out of 12, which is high enough for me. Honestly, it's not one of my favorite things ever. Like, my favorite Trek movies are like up in bloody 11s out of 12. All right, let's add this all together. This is how I rate my movies, by the way. This is some exclusive shit. 7 and 7 and 8.5 and 6.5. See, there's a science to this. And a 7 and a 9 and a 6.5 and a 10 and an 8. That's way too high. Fuck that. Really? 69.5? That's bullshit. The movie isn't worth all that. I gave it too much. Ridiculous. Well, I mean, that's what I gave it. Maybe I'm too hype. I don't remember. Okay, I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna take one away from the final note, the overall enjoyment. It sits at a 68.5. instead of a 69. So that's a solid 7 out of 10 on the IMDb's. Yeah, I took off a bit from that. I don't know. Watching it with you guys hyped me up more than because I was trying to find. This is the thing. I was trying to find positives this time. I was looking at those positives to put in my list. What's going on, Starfleet boy? So when they ask you at the daycare, why were you late? You're going to tell them because you have a complicated rating system. Exactly. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. I wish we'd see Dinatra and Picard. I really do. I really do. I really do see. Wish that we had Dinatra in Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Lower Decks and Star Trek everything. Give us bloody short treks and everything. Dinatra is amazing, and if the Romulan Star Empire fell, she still deserves to be like a Starfleet captain. So I say, give us a Starfleet show with Captain Dinatra as the lead. There you go. Boom. All right, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this impromptu random live stream. It was fun. You're the best. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. A big thank you to the channel patrons. You're the best. Thank you for helping me out. I need to be watching Justice League. That is unrelated, but I'll be watching Justice League for an unrelated, not related to Star Trek discussion that we'll be doing at some other time. Very excited to be recording the Tix Trek. Shout out to Tix Trek. Very excited to be recording the Trek Chat tomorrow, which will be released on the 1st of next month. It's been good. We'll tune in for the next if I can. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it. I might do a next then. I don't do live streams very often, but if you guys like it, then I can do it some more. All right. Live long and prosper. You guys are the best. See ya.